Hello mathematicians, puzzlers, and other curious people. In this video we're looking at the problem on box plots or box and whisker plots, same thing, different name, out of the Math 0325 review guide for the second test. So in this problem we have a box plot that shows licensed practical nurse, LPN, salaries for a particular region. You might want to look at this sort of thing as you get toward the end of your schooling especially, and look at where you might want to end up working, because it's always a good idea to know what your options are, both at the particular job you go to, like for that particular employer, and if that one doesn't work out, will you be able to trade up, basically. So here we have this box plot from some particular region. I don't know which region either. It could be interesting to research and see if you can find it. But it shows those LPN salaries. Now remember, the way a box plot works is the first line is the minimum, the last line is the maximum, and then this first edge of the box is the first quartile. This last edge of the box is the third quartile, and this line that's partway, I don't want to say exactly in the middle of the box because we can see it's a little asymmetrical, but it's somewhere around the middle of the box is the median. So here we've got three questions, and it says, what percent of nurses earn $46,000 or more? Okay, so we've got our scale down here, and I see it's skipping some. So let's see what it's skipping. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces from 40,000 to 44,000. So it looks like those are 1,000 each. Okay, that's good to know. So then when we want to find out where 46,000 would be, we could say, okay, 45,000, 46,000. That's an important spot. Now I noticed that 46,000 lines up with the third quartile. So that top quarter of the data set tells us about the nurses who make $46,000 or more. So since that's the top quarter, that's 25%. And in general, each of the four regions of a box plot, this part here, and then this part here, and this part here, and this part here, each of those is 25% of the data set. Now the next question is, what percent earn less than 42,000? So we would find 42,000, so let's see, 40, 41, 42,000, and we'd see what percent earns less. There's two ways you could handle this. One way is you could say, okay, well, that's the median. That means it's right in the middle. Half is below, half is above. So it must be 50% who earn less. Also would be 50% who earn more. The second way you could handle this, and this works even if it's on a different line, is you could say, okay, well, here's 25%, and here's another 25%, and then we're up to that point. So then this 25% and that 25% together make 50%. So you get the same result either way, but this way, with counting up the 25%, and adding them up, would work even if it asked what percent of nurses earn, say, less than 46,000, because you'd say, okay, 25 and 25 and another 25 to come up to 46,000. Well, that's 75%. Now it asks what is the range of salary for the nurses, and as we've used in a couple of videos already, but you might be watching out of order or you might just be skipping around and watching selected ones, that's okay. But you also should remember this from homework and QAA time and other places. But in case it slipped your mind, range is always going to be the maximum minus the minimum. So we can take that maximum So let's see, 48, 49 is what would line up there. So 49,000 minus then the minimum. Well, here we are. Let's see. That's this line right here. Below it is 32,000. Let's see, 32, 33, 34, 35. So 35,000. And that comes out to 14,000. So there's a $14,000 range of salaries. Why does that happen? I don't know exactly. We don't have the data set to be able to tell. One thing I wonder is, are more experienced nurses over here while new nurses are over here? Maybe. Another thing is it might depend on if some are working in more difficult specialties or working for employers with different policies. So that could be some ways of explaining variation between nurses' salaries. There might be other ways that I've overlooked also. So that would be something that if we were curious about the details, we would try to look for some more information. But that shows how you can read the numbers of the 5-number summary. That's the minimum, the maximum, the median, and the first and third quartiles, and use those to answer questions about percentages in particular subranges that line up with those.